Did anyone ever tell you that life after 80 would feel more like survival than living? Not many people say it out loud, but the truth is, getting older doesn't always come wrapped in wisdom, peace, and gentle mornings. It can come with weakness in your legs and worries you never thought you'd carry. You've made it this far in life, you've fought, endured, given, and built, but once you hit your 80s, the world begins to change in ways that are hard to explain unless you're living it. You might look the same in the mirror for a few years, but your strength, your memory, your independence, they begin to wear thin like old fabric. And what nobody warns you about, what they never put in books or in retirement brochures, is how this stage of life can test you in new ways, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. This video is not about fear, it's about awareness, about naming what so many older adults feel but rarely say, about helping you prepare mentally and practically for some of the invisible challenges that show up when you cross into your 80s. We'll go through 7 hard but honest truths about aging after 80, things you deserve to know, so you can face them with strength, dignity, and choice. Because being prepared doesn't make you pessimistic, it makes you powerful. Let's begin. Reality 1. The disappearing circle of people. By the time you reach 80, your phone doesn't ring as often. Not because people don't care, but because many of them are no longer around to call. One of the most painful realities of old age is the quiet loss of your circle. Friends passing away, neighbors moving to assisted living, even family becoming less available as they manage their own busy lives. It's not just about death, it's about absence, the kind that creeps in slowly. The lunch you used to share with a friend every Tuesday doesn't happen anymore. The familiar voice you once heard every Sunday after church is gone. And the worst part, no one replaces them. People your age are thinning out, and younger folks don't quite fill the same space in your heart. This shrinking circle doesn't just affect your schedule, it affects your spirit. Loneliness isn't just being alone, it's being invisible. It's waking up and realizing that fewer people know your story, that fewer people remember you in your prime, that fewer people check if you're okay, and when you lose those connections, your sense of self can slip too. You start wondering if you still matter, if anyone would notice if you stayed in bed all day. That's why this first truth is so important to face. Your social circle will change after 80, sometimes faster than you expect. But here's the counterbalance. You have the power to plant new seeds, even now. Some seniors start volunteering, not to feel useful, but to feel connected. Others find joy in small, consistent interactions, like chatting with the same cashier at the local store or joining a library book club for seniors. The point isn't to rebuild what's gone, it's to make sure you're not drifting alone in silence. If you're over 80 and you've felt that emptiness, the ache of fewer familiar voices, you're not imagining it. It's one of the hardest transitions of aging, but naming it and reaching toward even one new connection can be a lifeline, because while the past may be fading, your story is still unfolding, and someone somewhere still needs to hear it. Reality 2. The body's subtle rebellion. After 80, your body doesn't just age, it negotiates. One day your knees work just fine. The next they ache with every step. It's not the dramatic decline that gets most older folks, it's the quiet rebellion, the stiffness that wasn't there last week, the appetite that disappears without warning, the nap that feels more like a necessity than a choice. Many people expect their strength to fade gradually, but what surprises them is how inconsistent things become. You might sleep fine for 3 nights, then suddenly find yourself awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, or your digestion, which was always reliable, begins reacting badly to foods you've eaten your whole life. It's like your body keeps changing the rules without telling you. This unpredictability can make you feel betrayed by the very body you've lived in for decades. You start to wonder, is this a new normal or just a passing glitch? Should I see a doctor or wait it out? The not knowing wears you down. It's not just about pain, it's the emotional toll of not feeling steady in your own skin. And yet most people around you, especially younger ones, don't see it. You might look fine on the outside, you're still walking, still doing your chores, still cracking jokes, but they don't see how much energy it takes just to keep up that rhythm. They don't see the internal adjustments you're making, how you plan your errands around your good hours, how you skip meals just to avoid heartburn, how you sit down not because you're tired but because standing makes your legs tremble. The hardest part is that this subtle breakdown doesn't stop, and it doesn't always follow a pattern. One day you feel young again, and it gives you hope. The next day you feel older than your age, and that hope slips. It's not weakness, it's the reality of the body working harder to maintain the same functions. You're still you, but now you need to listen more carefully, move more gently, rest more often. But here's something that helps. Routines, even simple ones, drinking warm water first thing in the morning, stretching gently before bed, going outside for sunlight even if just for 10 minutes. These little actions remind your body that you're still on its side, that you're not giving up, you're adjusting. And that's the quiet strength of aging well. Not in resisting change, but in learning how to move with it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Reality 3, the shrinking circle of people. After 80, one of the hardest truths to face is this. Your circle gets smaller, sometimes slowly, other times all at once. Friends you used to call weekly stop answering. Neighbors you shared coffee with move away or pass away. Even your own family, the ones who once needed you for everything, suddenly seem busy with their own lives. It's not always that people mean to pull away. Life just changes. Your children become grandparents themselves, their time eaten up by jobs, grandkids, their health, their stress. And while they still love you, the phone calls become less frequent, the visits more rushed. The sense of belonging fainter. At first you might tell yourself it's temporary. They're just busy this month. But weeks stretch into months. Birthdays go by with only a short text. Holidays feel quieter. You find yourself reminiscing more, replaying old conversations, holding on to memories because new ones are harder to come by. There's also the social shift that comes with aging. Maybe you don't drive at night anymore. Maybe it's harder to hear in loud places. Maybe getting up and dressed for a gathering takes 3 times as much energy as it used to. So even when there are opportunities to connect, you hesitate. You want to go, but you weigh the cost, and many times the cost feels too high. This creates a dangerous loop. The less you connect, the more invisible you begin to feel, and the more invisible you feel, the easier it is for others to overlook you. It's not intentional, but it's real, and it's painful. One woman named Sandra, 84, shared that the loneliest part of her day wasn't being alone. It was realizing that no one was expecting her call, no one was waiting for her to show up, and when she missed an event at her local community center, no one even noticed. But here's what's important. Shrinking circles don't mean disappearing lives. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. 1 or 2 meaningful relationships, someone you can laugh with or just sit in silence with, can be enough. Sometimes, that means reaching out even when it feels awkward, writing a letter instead of waiting for a call, saying yes to a neighbor's invitation even when you'd rather stay home. It also helps to give your presence where it's needed. Mentor someone younger. Volunteer, if you're able, share your stories. You may feel like no one's listening, but someone is, and your life experience can be the anchor they need. Growing older doesn't mean becoming irrelevant, but staying visible does take effort, and it begins by remembering that while your circle may be smaller, your value hasn't shrunk at all. Reality 4. The burden of outliving others. There's a quiet kind of pain that comes with outliving the people you love. And after 80, this becomes more than just a possibility, it becomes a pattern. You don't just say goodbye to one person, you say goodbye again and again to friends who knew your childhood, to siblings who shared your parents, even to your own spouse, the one you thought you'd grow old with forever. It's not just loss, it's the sheer weight of carrying all those memories alone. You find yourself the last one remembering a funny moment from 1963, the only one who still knows the story behind the dent in the garage door. There's no one left to say remember when, have them nod with that same knowing smile. This kind of loneliness is different. It's not just about having no one to talk to, it's about realizing that no one else remembers your life the way you do, that no one else has your history, that the cast of characters in your story has thinned, and you're left on stage with fewer familiar faces in the audience. You might also feel a kind of guilt, not the kind tied to wrongdoing, but survivor's guilt. You start wondering why you're still here when others aren't. You replay decisions, think about missed calls, carry questions you can't answer, and that grief, it doesn't fade. It just changes shape. One man named Robert, 87, said the hardest part of aging wasn't his aching knees or his blurry vision. It was the mornings when he reached for the second coffee mug out of habit, or the way he sometimes heard his wife's voice in his head answering a question he never asked aloud. But there's something we don't talk about enough. There's strength in being the one who remembers. There's courage in waking up to a quieter house and still choosing to get out of bed. There's beauty in telling the stories of those who are gone, in keeping their legacy alive through your own voice. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Reality 5. The shrinking of personal freedom. After 80, something strange starts to happen. Even if you're still sharp, still capable, and still independent, people begin to treat you like you're not. Your freedom, little by little, starts to shrink. It begins with small things. Maybe your children insist on driving you everywhere, even when you know you're perfectly fine behind the wheel, or they start questioning what you eat, when you sleep, how you take your pills. It's not that they don't love you, it's that their worry makes them overstep. And suddenly, you're not the one making the final call. You're being advised, guided, gently pushed. This is when frustration creeps in. You know your own limits. You've earned the right to choose what matters. But the world around you starts deciding for you, as if old age cancels out a lifetime of judgment and self-control. You may even feel invisible in conversations, as if your preferences don't weigh as much as they used to. One woman named Joyce, 84, shared how her daughter started organizing every part of her day from morning walks to what shows she watched. It came from love, but it made her feel like a child. Joyce said she felt like her independence was being slowly erased, not because she couldn't function but because others assumed she couldn't. This is one of the quiet battles of aging, the struggle to hold on to your agency in a world that means well but doesn't always listen. It's not about being stubborn, it's about dignity, about still having a say, about being asked, not told. But here's the part that matters. Setting boundaries at this stage isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can say, I appreciate your help, but let me handle this. You can express when something doesn't sit right. The people who love you might be surprised at first, but over time, they'll learn to respect it, because the truth is, the more you protect your independence, the longer you stay connected to the world in a way that matters. Choices. What to eat, who to visit, how to spend your time, aren't just preferences. They're expressions of your identity. And no matter how old you are, your identity deserves space. Reality 6. The emotional cost of outliving others. One of the hardest things that comes after 80 isn't physical pain, it's emotional loss. You start to notice that the people who once filled your days, your phone calls, your holidays, begin to disappear. Old friends pass, siblings fade, sometimes even a spouse. And what's left behind isn't just sadness, it's a strange quietness that settles into your routines. Grief at this age doesn't always come in waves like it used to. It comes in stillness. You wake up and realize There's no one to call about a memory from 40 years ago, no one who really remembers you from your 20s, no one who understands the inside jokes, the way you used to laugh back then. That kind of loneliness isn't loud, it's just always there in the background, like an old radio, humming softly. For many, this leads to a sense of being unanchored, like you're floating in a world that keeps moving forward, while pieces of your past quietly vanish, and no one teaches you how to mourn that. No one prepares you for how much strength it takes just to keep showing up, smiling, eating, engaging, while carrying all that invisible weight. I remember a man named Charles, 87, who said, "I've been to more funerals in the last 5 years than I can count, and every time a little piece of my life goes with him." That's a feeling a lot of people carry. They don't talk about it, not because they don't feel it, but because it's become a part of life. And yet, here's what keeps many people grounded: the decision to keep opening up to new people, even with the risk of more goodbyes, to keep finding reasons to laugh, to celebrate, to invite someone over for coffee, even if they're 30 years younger. Because staying connected isn't just a way to pass time, it's a way to stay alive on the inside. So if you're going through this right now, don't be ashamed of the sadness. Don't pretend it's not heavy. Just know that there's still space for joy, even if it comes in new forms, with new faces. Let the grief walk beside you, not stop you. That's how you keep going. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Reality 7. Facing your own fragility with grace. After 80, one of the most humbling things you'll come to terms with is your own fragility, not just in your bones or muscles, but in everyday things you used to take for granted. Tying your shoes, getting out of a low chair, holding a cup steady. It's not that you feel old every moment, it's that every small stumble, every minor ache, reminds you that the body has limits now that weren't there before, and that realization, if you let it, can shake your confidence. It can make you second-guess going for walks alone, traveling, even cooking a meal. You begin to plan your day based not on what you want to do, but what you can safely do. And that shift, while practical, can start to make your world feel smaller. But here's the key: fragility is not weakness, it's wisdom in motion. It's your body telling you to move more carefully, to listen more closely. It's your life reminding you that you've been strong for so long, and now the strength is in adjusting with grace. I once met a woman named Nancy, 84, who said something I'll never forget: "I don't mind that I need a cane now. I earned it." It's a reminder that I've walked a long, meaningful road, and I'm still going. That mindset is everything, because while some people try to hide their limitations or pretend they're still 60, others find strength in adapting. They use tools, they ask for help, they take their time, and in doing so, they preserve their independence longer than those who refuse to accept the truth of their body's changes. So don't fight your fragility. Learn to work with it. Strength after 80 isn't about pushing through pain or proving you can do everything on your own. It's about choosing what matters most, preserving your energy, and continuing to show up, present, grateful, and wise. What matters most is how you carry yourself through it all, with courage, dignity, and a quiet kind of strength that only those who've lived long enough can understand. Final thought: getting older after 80 isn't just about dealing with the physical, it's about facing some of the hardest truths with your head high and your heart open. You don't have to pretend it's all easy, it's not, but there's deep power in knowing these realities and choosing to meet them with wisdom, not fear. You are not a burden. You are not forgotten. You're still here, and your presence, your stories, your laughter, your stubborn spirit, they matter more than ever. So take care of your mind. Don't hide your emotions. Accept the loneliness, but don't give in to it. Stay curious. Stay open. Be honest about money, but never lose your generosity. Choose kindness. And when your body slows down, walk with pride anyway. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.